It's cold, raining, it's windy. Those all might be valid excuses for hopping on the treadmill instead of heading outside for your run. But if you are going to brave the elements, then what might you need?
I'm Anna, and today, along with Andy, we're going to be taking you through some of the best running jackets to help you through those cold, wet and windy miles.
Yeah, we've been testing a whole bunch of different running jackets, so stay tuned to find out all of the different elements about what each individual jacket has to offer, and make sure you watch right until the end to find out a verdict from Anna and myself about which jackets we would choose. And if you're new to the running channel, please do support us in what we're trying to do to create free, entertaining, we hope, videos all about running every week by tapping subscribe and hitting the bell icon to be notified when we upload those videos. Now let's crack on and take a look at those jackets.
So before we take a look at the actual jackets, we're just going to give you a few pointers on how to pick the best running jacket for the conditions that you need. So for example, if you want a jacket that is waterproof, so one that's going to keep you much drier in driving rain, really heavy rain conditions, then a waterproof one is for you. So there's a measurement called hydrostatic head, and the higher the number, the more waterproof the jacket is. You might want to just get a shower-proof jacket, and that one is water resistant to a point, but you might still feel that in the heavy rain showers you do get some water seeping through. But the thing with a shower-resistant jacket is that they're probably more breathable, they allow for more ventilation, and they're usually a bit lighter weight, which is great to be able to pack down really small, especially if you want to pop one in a running pack, if you're heading out for a day on the trails, for example.
The fabric should also be breathable too. In other words, designed to keep the rain out, but also allow the sweat to escape that develops as you get a little bit warmer. There's no point in doing a brilliant job in keeping you dry from the outside whilst you're getting damp and uncomfortable on the inside of the jacket. So some manufacturers will quote a figure similar to hydrostatic head, which measures how breathable the fabric is, essentially how much water vapour can escape through the fabric, measured in grams, with the higher figure meaning it's more breathable.
Some jackets will also be windproof, and you can get jackets that have taped seams. Now, if you're running an ultra race or a trail race that has a mandatory kit list, you'll often find that a jacket with taped seams is on that list in order to comply with the type of equipment that you're required to take out with you. So a jacket with taped seams doesn't necessarily mean that it's a better quality jacket than one without, but it is an additional requirement in order for that jacket to be more waterproof to prevent water from seeping in. This is the Salomon Lightning jacket. So this one is super waterproof. In fact, when you're running in the rain wearing this one, you can see the droplets of water on it. Did find that breathability wise, it is not as breathable as some of the other jackets, but it has taped seams, which means that it definitely keeps the water out, which therefore makes it a little bit more tricky to be breathable. It's really lightweight, packs down really nicely, so you can pop it in a running pack for a day out on the trails. And there's a really nice feature in the hood of this one as well. So it has almost like an internal cap with the elastic around it that you can put over your head, and then the rest of the hood comes over it. So that hood really stays in place, and the hood's a great size. For me personally, I look for jackets with larger hoods that are going to stay on when I've got my ponytail, because actually some hoods do tend to come up a little bit too small to fit my head and my ponytail in. So that's a big thumbs up from me. And one other feature of this jacket as well, it's got 2 side pockets with zips. You can fit plenty of stuff in there. It's big enough for a phone, put all kinds of stuff in those pockets. And it also has a little clip pop button at the chest, so you can unzip the zip and leave the popper done up, just to let a bit of extra air in if you are getting a little bit too hot wearing your jacket on your run. This is the On Weather jacket. Now, I've put this through a pretty vigorous test. In fact, this jacket's done 260 kilometers in the Azores for the world's toughest island race, so really put it through its paces there. The great thing about this jacket on that particular ultra was that the climate was really humid, so it was quite damp, but also quite warm. So this jacket really is very breathable. Waterproof wise, it's not as waterproof as some of the other jackets. In fact, in real driving, pouring rain, it almost goes see-through. You can see your watch face through it. So waterproofing wise, not so great, but breathable, lightweight, it's incredibly light. And it's got a little peak on the hood as well to keep the rain out of your face when it is raining. So this one comes with one pocket, which is on the breast pocket here. You can't really fit an awful lot in there, but it does have a little hole through it so that you can feed headphone cables through. So if you're not wearing Bluetooth headphones, then that's a pretty nice feature for it. But other than that, there's no additional storage within the On Weather jacket. And the cuffs fit really nicely around your hands too. They've got a really lovely kind of long, elongated bit along the top of your hand, so it keeps that part of your hand dry, but also elasticated around the wrists as well, so they stay in place. But equally, it makes it easier to pull those sleeves up. So when you're getting a little bit warm, then you've got the option to pull the sleeves up and just cool down a little bit more. So this is the On Weather jacket.
This is the Tech GORE-TEX jacket from Ronhill in collaboration with Mountain Equipment. Ronhill famously didn't miss a single day's running between 1964 and 2017, and Ronhill as a company are bringing all of their running knowledge and combining it with all of the protection knowledge from Mountain Equipment, which is not inconsiderable. The jacket's made from the shake dry version of GORE-TEX material, and in this incarnation of GORE-TEX, the actual membrane sits on the outside of the fabric, which means that water just beads straight off and it shouldn't ever risk wetting out, which is great. It's also supposedly the most breathable of GORE-TEX's laminates, so it should give you the best performance out on a run. It's worth saying that all of those brands, all of that pedigree and all of that performance does come at a price. This product launched at £230 retail in October 2020. You get quite a lot for your money. You are getting high-end technology and high performance on a run, but it is worth bearing in mind that price point might put a few people off. From a performance perspective, I've worn this in some fairly heavy showers and on some longer runs, and I haven't suffered with either getting wet or getting too sweaty. So from my perspective, it's performed really well and I can't fault it on a performance perspective. Taking a look at some more details about the jacket, there are thumb loops made of elastic that sit inside the jacket rather than being holes through the jacket material itself to keep the sleeves in position when you're on your run. Those seem to work really well. The hood is really well fitting and actually probably left the least portion of my face exposed of any of the jackets I've ever worn. So I really did feel like I could take on the elements, and the hood would provide a good degree of protection but also not blow off or feel like it was getting in my way. There's a single chest pocket here if you did need to store anything in there. There's taped seams throughout, so again, a very good degree of waterproofing. A really nice feature, it's a really tiny feature, but one that I want to mention. I've worn jackets before and been out on a run where the weather's changed. I've wanted to unzip them, but then they flap around. They feel like they're going to fall off my shoulders, etc. In this jacket, there's a really nice little feature. I can unzip here to give myself some extra breathability, some fresh air. And there's a little popper here that I've done up, which keeps the jacket together at the top so it doesn't move around, which is a really nice feature. I do also want to mention the fit. I find that this fit me really closely, a really nice fit. I'm wearing a medium. I'm 1.88 m, 6'2" tall, but it is a very slim fit, so bear that in mind depending on when you're looking at your sizing.
This is inov-8's STORMSHELL waterproof jacket, and one of my favourites in tests. Waterproof wise, it's incredibly waterproof even in the pouring rain, and breathability wise as well. You don't feel like you're going to get too hot and sticky inside, a bit like a bin bag effect with some jackets that you can find if they're not breathable. So this inov-8 jacket has taped seams. It also has one storage pocket, which is big enough to put a phone in and maybe a gel or so. The other great thing that I love about this inov-8 jacket is it has thumb holes. I'm a big fan of a thumb hole in tops, especially when I'm running. Don't know why, just really like the fact that it kind of covers your hand. The hood on the inov-8 jacket is big enough to fit my ponytail and my head in, which is always a bonus for me, and stayed in place too. The run that I tried this jacket in was pretty windy, but the hood stayed up and in place. It's got a bit of elastic around it and a slight peak on the hood too to keep the rain off your face. This is Sundried's Grande Cass jacket, which is made for cyclists and runners alike. It's not got a hood on this one, so this is more of maybe a commuter jacket. The cuffs on it are elasticated all the way around as well, so again, you can pull them up nice and easy. It's got one pocket on the side. Again, size-wise for the pocket, it's pretty reasonable for being able to put your phone in. And not a lot else. Waterproof wise to this one's kind of shower proof, so if you get caught in a shower, if you're commuting on the way to work or it's just a light shower out, then it's all right for that kind of thing. But in driving rain conditions, I mean, you can probably see it's reasonably see-through, so it's not great in the really heavy rain conditions. So breathability wise, it is really lightweight. You can see from the fact that there's not much to it, you can see through it. So it's really breathable and also super lightweight. So a good jacket if you just want one to kind of keep the rain off you on your commute and that kind of thing.
This is the Halo Jacket from OMM. Now OMM stands for the Original Mountain Marathon, which is an event that started in 1968 to test out those people who love the outdoors and love exploring. The first thing to note about the Halo Jacket is just how light it is. At 105 grams, it's one of the lightest jackets I've tested. I love it because of that. It felt like hardly having anything on, but it still comes with a good degree of protection. It has a hydrostatic head of 10,000 millimeters, which is pretty good waterproofing really, and then also a breathability rating of 10,000 grams per meter square. So pretty good on both waterproof and breathability, and because of the lightweight nature, I really didn't notice it when I was out running. Along with that, it has a built-in hood, and within the hood at the front, there's a double layer of the same waterproof fabric to give it an extra strength to the peak and keep it in position. The hood itself did feel like it fit really nicely around my face. It didn't feel like it was going to blow back or get in the way or feel like it was obscuring my vision either. It was quite a nice combination of those things. There's the same double layer of fabric at the wrists to give you a bit of extra structure there and to make it fit more nicely. And there are also loops for your thumb to keep it in position when you're on your runs to stop the arms riding up. There are taped seams throughout, as well as a waterproof zip, so when it is fully zipped up, it is fully waterproof. There are no pockets, so nowhere to store anything, but also nowhere for water to get in or potentially leak. So this is, I guess, fine-tuned for heading out on the trails where you might also have a pack on if you needed to carry more stuff for a longer run. It fits longer towards the back with an extended bit to come down over your bum, either for when you're wearing a pack and your jackets might ride up a tiny bit, but also to protect you from flicking up mud and I suppose stones and water as you're running along with your heel flick. It's adjustable at the waist as well, with a little elastic pull on either side, so you can get the perfect fit to keep it nicely in position, particularly if you are wearing a pack on longer runs. And finally, from a fit perspective, overall I describe it as a slim fit, so it is quite a close to your body fit. I've got a relatively lightweight long sleeve underneath, I'm wearing a medium, and it fits quite closely to both the arms and the body. Overall, if you're looking for something incredibly lightweight and packable, this in fact packs down around about the size of a tennis ball, then this could be something you want to consider because you could throw it in your pack and then you could also wear it all day on the trails without worrying too much about what the weather throws at you.
This is the Proviz REFLECT360 jacket. So this jacket's made also for runners and cyclists and is a bit of a commuting jacket. In fact, I've been wearing this one for my commuting jacket for a couple of years now, and it really does the job of helping you stay dry with the waterproofing on the front, but also being seen. So this material is super reflective, which is really great for staying safe, especially in the autumn and winter. So the Proviz jacket, like I say, waterproof wise is really good. Breathability wise as well, it's very good, and that's mostly down to the fact that it doesn't have a panel on the back and neither does it have them down the arms either. So if you're commuting whilst wearing this jacket, you'll have your backpack on anyway, so that'll keep the rain out from your back. But it does mean that if you are running in it and you haven't got a backpack on, then your back is likely to get a little bit wet. So this one doesn't come with a hood. The fit of the Proviz REFLECT360 is really nice as well. So I wear a UK size 10 in normal regular clothes. This is a UK size 10 and it's actually really roomy, which is great to be able to get a couple of layers underneath if it's a bit chilly as well. The jacket comes with 2 zip pockets, which have got loads of room in for your phone. I often tend to bung my bike lights in there as well, so loads of room to put your keys or whatever you need to carry in the jacket. So a real great all-round jacket for commuting for the Proviz REFLECT360.
This is the Active jacket from Red, and it's a little bit different to a lot of the other jackets that we're talking about today in that this is definitely not a specialist running jacket. We've included it because it's a brilliant all-rounder, and we appreciate that not everybody might want to invest in what is a very specific dedicated running jacket. They might want a jacket that helps with commuting to work, cycling, walking the dog, whatever it might be, and this could be a really nice choice. Because it's not a dedicated running jacket, it's slightly more heavyweight, weighs in at 390 grams. It also means that has that slightly more heavyweight, durable feel to it, which lends itself, I suppose, to all those activities that I talked about before as well. But with that, the material itself does provide a good degree of both waterproofness and breathability. The fit is slightly more roomy than a lot of the other specialist running jackets, although it is quite snug on the hips, and I've seen recommendations from reviews to go up a size. Again, I'm wearing a medium here. It fits me pretty nicely, relatively roomy through the arms and the chest. There's also a hood which you can roll up into the collar. Again, a nod to the flexibility of the jacket, but it does mean that the hood itself is less practical from a running perspective because it doesn't fit quite so closely to your head and it feels like it might blow off at any time actually. So not one for the most hardcore all-day adventures on the trails. On testing it on runs, I've not had any problems with breathability or waterproofness. It's performed really well, although I would say that I was getting hotter towards the end of some of my runs, and it's definitely best suited to shorter, easy runs, warm-ups, warm-downs, wanting to be protected on the way and to and from a workout, for example, when you know that you're not going to wear a jacket during the workout itself.
This is the Carbonite jacket from Brooks. So this one, as you can see, is great if you're going to be running in low light or in the dark, because the bright colours, the white, the yellow zip, and there is also reflective panels in it, means that you're going to be able to be seen in low light. So this is a great one to be able to throw on if maybe it's a little bit chilly when you're heading out, just to give you some extra warmth. It's not got a hood on it, so waterproof wise it's shower resistant, so not so much for driving rain conditions, but if it's kind of a little bit drizzly, then that's going to keep you dry as well. So the Brooks jacket comes with 2 zipped up pockets. This one doesn't have taped seams. And overall, it's a good jacket, like I say, just for sort of casual use. If you want to go running out in low light, or if you even just want to go out in the daytime, definitely going to be seen in this one. This is the INFINIUM insulated jacket from GORE. So this jacket I recently wore on a trip to the Peak District when it was a particularly windy day up on the tops. And I must say that windproof wise, this one gets a big tick from me. It felt like a warm hug up in those conditions. It kept the wind out and felt pretty snuggly, but not too hot whilst running. Waterproof wise, it's not the most waterproof of jackets on test. It doesn't have tape seams, for example, but it does keep light showers out, which is always a bonus. So this jacket comes with a zip pocket, which has plenty of room to put stuff in. And in fact, inside there is a half pocket as well, so you can keep smaller stuff inside that. And it's made from this really soft material that you've also got around the cuffs too. So that's great if you've got phones or sunglasses, for example, that you don't want to get scratched. That's nice and soft inside the pocket. The hood on this jacket is a really decent size and is elasticated all the way along, so it does stay put. So overall, the GORE insulated INFINIUM jacket gets a big thumbs up from me for a day out on the trails. It doesn't pack up so well, so it's lightweight, but doesn't actually pack down as small as some of the other jackets. But it is one that you can pop on to stop yourself getting too cold when you're out and about running.
Fittingly for me to provide my verdict on which jacket I would choose, it is actually raining now, so the perfect end to this video. My choice would be this, the OMM Halo Jacket, which is a great balance between price and functionality. It really felt like you could throw anything at it and it fit me really nicely, so this would be my choice.
So now for the verdict, what was my favourite jacket on test? Well, a bit of a giveaway seeing as I'm still wearing it, but it's the GORE insulated INFINIUM jacket that gets the thumbs up from me. It is a little on the pricey side, but it's also really comfortable. So you do pay for that extra comfort and those premium features that are just little nice to haves. If I had to only pick one jacket, then it would be this one. But I'm not going to. I'm actually going to be an absolute cop-out and pick 2. So my second favourite jacket on test is the inov-8 jacket. For me, the fit was brilliant. It fitted down over your hips, which as a woman sometimes can be difficult to find jackets that fit nicely. So 2 favourites from me.
So hopefully that's given you a better idea of some of the great jackets that are on the market right now. What do you wear in the winter for running? And did we cover one of your favourite jackets in this roundup?
Or maybe we missed out your favourite go-to running jacket. Please let us know in the comments below. And while you're here, why not check out some of our other videos on the running channel? We'll see you next time.